Mark Morrison on Return of the Snacks. That's the funniest shit ever.
No, hold on. I got to do the thing.
Return of the Snacks.
Oh, God. What has happened? Are you doing this?
Oh, fuck. Oh, God, I got hit. What's up, Dark Judges, Desperados, and Dudes in Dick-Shaped Helmets? You're listening to Cursed Earth Radio Live, the one and only podcast bringing Dredd to the Dreadless.
Broadcasting outside the walls of Mega City 1 across the Black Atlantic in North America. I'm Cool Johnny Cool.
This is Heavy Metal Kid, and along with us today, we have our best friend in the whole wide world,
Chelsea.
But you got to get a better podcasting name. Chelsea something else.
Chelsea.
To be later determined.
To be later determined.
Chelsea Grove has.
Chelsea, who's, because you're not in the chat right now, means we have 0 listeners. Fuck.
I told everybody we were doing this.
They're all sleeping in the UK.
Right yeah.
How dare they?
We got a live show. Not only do we have a live show, we have 3.
Well, you know why they're not here? Because I didn't do that yet.
Oh.
You premature podcasting over here.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did the thing.
I hate to tell you this, but when you go live, you can't wait for old sausage fingers over here to put.
Not when you got a hair trigger like you. Was it good for you?
Hey, we're all here in person, right? This is awesome, man.
We are.
We live, well, you and I.
In a material world.
Johnny don't live too far apart, but Chelsea lives fucking all the way out in Detroit and stuff.
Yeah, I'm up by Saginaw, so it's like 7 hours.
You're basically in Mega City.
Yeah.
1.
She drove all the way to be on this podcast.
They allowed me to sneak back in.
Yeah.
Cross the wall.
Is Detroit as scary as people say it is?
No, not as long as you're not being stupid.
So, like,
you got RoboCop
right,
the streets.
Yeah, there's RoboCop.
Lied, basically. They made me believe that.
I'd buy that for $1.
Okay, so would RoboCop kind of be considered diet Dredd?
Yeah.
well, he was almost Dredd, almost completely Dredd.
Yeah.
Yeah. They when they started the sculpt on that suit, Paul Verhoeven became so enamored with Judge Dredd as a character that he told him to go like that. And then they sculpted it and they went, that's legally too far. We need to bring it back a little bit.
Yeah. You know, it would have been amazing if Paul Verhoeven would have just directed Judge Dredd.
He can still direct a Dredd. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Carl Urban did say he wants to be Dredd again.
Yeah.
He could direct The Pit.
I could.
I would. That's right up his alley. People getting shot to pieces.
Oh, The Pit. Yeah, you need to read The Pit, man.
The best judge ever, Judge Priest.
Yeah.
Just piling up dead pedophiles.
He was. Man, he's piling them up. And dead cult members. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he helped them achieve their grand purpose.
He did. Yeah. Hey, do we have any news this week?
I do.
So do our listeners know that you're trying to really put in an effort to read the news?
I'm trying to put Mac Anorak out of business, but he's
there's no chance that dude knows everything.
Well, I'm just trying to give him something to do at this point.
Yeah.
So did you see the new pre-order from Haya?
I did not.
We're getting
Yes.
Mean Machine.
God.
Yes.
It's going up to 4 on you. I already pre-ordered it as soon as it came out.
I have not ordered it yet.
And look, it's just like you. It's 4 inches.
And you know, strangely enough, I was going to say that the Judge Dredd and Death combo is just like you. It won't stand up no matter what you do.
Dude, I got a kid. It worked once. I ain't here to impress any of you.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, you're kidding me? We have the same exact hair color and the same exact.
I know. The DNA test is tomorrow. Can you spit in the cup for me?
That's not the first time I've been asked that. Listen,
today.
Wait, you got news?
Got
news. What's your news?
Well, that was part of the news.
Oh, okay.
We got more voice casting for the audiobooks. They cast Stuart Milligan as Bad Bob Booth. So they're going to do Origins.
Oh my God.
So that's going to be nice. We talked about Mercury retrograde coming out in its completed state this winter.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Mick McMahon expanded edition coming out. Mick McMahon, depending on your pronunciation and what version you're reading. And then we've really got to get the Law of Dredd trade with all the DC, or the first 6 issues of the DC Dredd.
We do, because we always assumed it was bad.
Yes.
Have you read Law of Dredd, Chelsea?
I have not, but Dak actually sent me a couple copies.
Okay, yeah, because I know when you're like, look, because your thing is exactly what we all have done many times, is like going to comic shops and seeing what they have, and sometimes you're like, oh, they got DC Dredd. I guess this is the best I can do. You end up with stuff.
As long as it's Dredd, I'll grab it.
Yeah.
Or it's a box of Fleetway qualities, and you start a whole journey.
I have some of those too. I have all of them. I got IDW, DC, 2080, all of it.
When you're a Dredd fan, you want all the content, no matter what.
Yeah.
Is it bad? I don't care. Give me it. It says
exactly.
bad.
Do you think? So we know 100% we're getting mean.
And
think we're gonna get
we
Fink
might
and
get
Ratty?
the steel claw
Oh my god!
and spider gun nipples. Wouldn't that be something?
I love the steel claw. I want it so bad.
But now that you've said that, if we got a Fink and Ratty 2-pack, I would lose my mind.
No.
Just have to will into existence, like with giant.
Well, now that they've heard
fire.
us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is true, man. I sometimes I get the feeling that they're listening to us and doing everything we command.
Well, I want a Fink and Ratty,
Okay,
and I want a Judge Priest,
there we go.
and I want a Dirty Frank,
Terms and conditions.
and I want a Heston, and a Chemsky,
Yeah,
and a Chet, and a Growfast 3-pack.
that's not happening. That's not happening.
You mean they're not going to try to make a Hitler action? A children's entertainer dressed as Hitler action?
No. It's not Hitler. It's a children's entertainer dressed as Hitler.
That makes it somehow
totally
worse.
different.
And then we got the cover for next week's Prog. We're going back to the Atlanta story a lot recently because our favorite murder robot from the Atlanta story
I love that guy.
gets its own story drawn by Jake.
I was going to say, yeah, that means we get Jake Lynch back, which means everything will be right with the Prog when we get back, hopefully. What's taking the place of Brink?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
Mac, if you're there,
Yeah.
knock twice.
Chelsea, you read you've been reading this whole run.
Yeah.
How was Brink for you? Because we chatted about Brink, but that was your first Brink.
I tried to read like the first two, and then it didn't hold me.
Yeah.
And I did try because you guys talked it up so much. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to focus, but then
Yeah.
just like ADD everywhere else.
Brink is one of those things where like because I also understand that ADHD and ADD lifestyle.
AC.
The little things that come off of a character every time they come in, and you're like, why is it telling me all this information? So super important because near the end, it's so fucking confusing.
Because it was Francis Bacon the whole time.
No.
Oh boy.
It's so important though to go back and read. Now that it's all together, try that.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of Brink.
Yeah, or at least just this run. Like straight through, it makes a lot more sense because I have trouble sometimes following Brink too, and I'll have to like catch up the week before. But yeah, I'm just curious. I was curious because I know it was your first time reading Brink, so.
Yeah, like I know you guys like said it was a slow burn, so I'm like, okay, I need to like be patient with this. Like I know it's gonna take some time, and then it's just like, okay, this is getting weird and slow. So I'm like, let's see what else is going on.
It was like 25 weeks, of reading, it was like 25, something like that.
It was, yeah.
It's the slowest of slow burns, but man, we shouldn't on paper like that story, but man, it grabbed us.
I really need to meet the guy. I genuinely want the person to come on the podcast who is a huge fan of like Skip Tracer, who's a huge fan of Sinister Dexter, because I feel like that's a demographic we're not hitting. And I want to talk to somebody about why they love it, what they love about it in a way where it's like not me being like, oh, I think it sucks, tell me why. I really just want to talk to that person.
Yeah, because
I know 3 people.
That's true. Well, we know podcast land. Chat's pretty busy right now, I can see.
SJS is here.
On your toes. No, like I know from seeing the other Dredd groups, it seems like we're an island with Vex because we love it. And I was in another group looking at
they don't dig it.
Yeah, they're like, why is this here? Can't we get Sinister Dexter? And I went, no.
Yeah.
I left that group. I said, I'm not going to be part of this.
Cool kids.
Yeah.
How could you not like Proteus Vex? That's all I want to know.
Well, a providence that somebody liked it though is that we got 3 entire chapters.
Yeah.
So here's hoping.
And we suckered the team into talking to us.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't based on our good looks, that's for sure.
No, we'll fight that battle for
I'll die on that hill.
Yeah. Well, as soon as we figure out what the Jake Lynch fan club is called.
Yeah, it's not that. And you can't call Jim that other thing, especially in this current climate.
I don't know. What was the other thing I was going to call him?
Color King.
Oh,
you can't do that.
You can call somebody the Color King. Come on, dude. No. Now you are just turning something wholesome into something terrible.
You are something terrible.
A color, dude. He's not the.
You say, but I think you just said
no. I said the Color King, the King of Colors. How about the King of Colors? Color King.
That sounds even worse,
bro. You know what? If somebody out there, listen to me. And not counting you.
Listen to me.
If somebody out there has a problem with me saying Color King,
we're doing a show on the internet. Of course, someone's going to have a problem with it.
Guess what? Go fuck yourself.
Well, they've had to listen to us too, I guess. We're not canceled. That's proof no one is listening.
Send them a recycle.
Chelsea, you haven't been in West Virginia long. I don't think you got one of these in your area. You know what? There's a store down the street. It's a used store that sells children's clothing called Once Upon a Child.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, that's probably not good naming.
That is okay. I can say Color King when I'm talking about.
You can't say Once Upon a Child with the amount of wiener we say on this show. You can't do that. It's a good thing the FCC can't cancel us.
Yeah. What else you got? What other
That's
news?
all my news for this week.
Okay.
I keep trying to get Dredd versus Death to work on my Xbox One for my Xbox disc. They never patched that game for some reason.
What a shame, man. What a shame.
I'm too lazy to go downstairs and play it. My big TV's up here.
Yeah. So we did have a request, and
We did.
No one ever requested anything from us other than that we stopped.
Yeah, we get that a lot, oddly enough.
We apparently are us telling trailer park stories from when we both grew up as poor children in trailer parks was a hit. I have a story that I thought of when we were asked to tell another one, and you apparently have a couple, and you're gonna let us pick.
I have a treasure trove, but I have two specific ones.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome to CER Trailer Park Stories.
Yeah.
You all can choose from.
Hold on one second.
I'm holding.
Give me 5 seconds. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Just talk about something.
We're talking about trailer park stories.
Yeah.
My esteemed co-host is not prepared for the test. He did not understand the assignment, I guess is what the kids say.
All right, are you ready?
Yep. Oh God.
All right. Say it again. Welcome to
Welcome to Cursed Earth Radio's Trailer Park Stories.
No, wait. Say it again.
Welcome to Cursed Earth Radio Trailer Park Stories.
I really thought this would happen. Wait a minute.
I quit.
Come on.
Are we gonna get a content match straight? Really?
That's what I was gonna say.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
That's only applicable to me. I'm the only one that grew up here.
That's true.
Transplant.
Yeah, that's true.
We have 3 people in the chat now.
Oh,
Something
great.
left.
And they're about to
Something
leave.
left.
No, I was thinking maybe it should actually be. How about this?
Oh,
How
for
about,
God's
welcome to Cursed Earth Radio's Trailer Park Stories. Oh my God, why are all these like this?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's gonna get us to context, right?
Oh, that's true. They're probably going to copyright claim us. All right.
So I have 2 stories.
Okay.
You can hear the story about how young Cool Johnny Cool ripped all the skin off his back arm on his bike.
Okay.
Or you can hear the story about when Cool Johnny Cool got hit in the head with a mason jar.
Oh, well, that's definitely the banjos one. I'm gonna let Chelsea. It has to be
Mason
the
jar.
Mason jar.
yeah.
All right. We'll save the dead flesh on the arm for another time.
Okay.
All right. So I had neighbors growing up.
Of course.
A sister and a younger brother. The younger brother was a shit. Hated him. And so we were all outside playing one day. And he's being a little shit. And we kept trying to get him to leave us alone.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're politely trying to get him to leave us alone, but he is being a full-on bag of dicks.
Yeah.
And we finally, I think I may have shoved him. I can't remember. I shoved him and then I tripped. I think I went down. I think he shoved me. And as I'm coming back up, I'm pushing myself off the ground. I look up. He's got a mason jar in his hand and just launches it at my head, clocks me right above my eye. And my mom said, I heard this blood-curdling scream.
Can you recreate it?
I can't get that high anymore.
Okay.
That was definitely a pre-puberty thing. And I came out and you were rolling around on the ground holding your head. And that little shit was just standing there.
This is your mom's
recollection of the event. She gets me inside. I have a goose egg on my head at least an inch tall from where this thing collided with my forehead. I am freaking out. My mom, God bless her, would go to bat for me no matter what. Like she made my elementary school principal cry.
Fuck yeah.
Made a grown man cry in his own office.
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
So she wants to go over to their trailer and rip this kid and his family apart. And my dad's like, you got to calm down. You got to calm down. So she's heading to me and the kid's dad comes over because he heard what happened and he wanted to smooth things over.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad lets him in. My mom's ready to rip this guy in half like a strong man tearing a phone book.
Yeah.
And he says something to my mom. She doesn't hear it because she's just blind with rage.
Yeah.
And he said, well, boys will be boys.
Wrong.
And
answer.
my dad's like, you should probably leave now.
Yeah.
And so he ushers the guy out, and it's like every vein in my mom's forehead is just throbbing with rage. And that's the time I got hit in the head with a mason jar. Explains a lot.
Mason jar is like a hillbilly hand grenade. The amazing thing is that it didn't explode.
It hit me mouth first.
Oh, yeah.
And it dug in, and it hurt so bad. I was like 6, I think, when it happened. I still remember the pain of that thing colliding with my skull. So, yeah.
The funny thing about the mason jar is that it plays so well into the West Virginia stereotype. It's not like
I was smoking a corncob pipe and I was playing with my pet pig.
You didn't get hit with brass knuckles or baseball. People over across the pond that listen to us don't just have mason jars at the ready. But when you grow up in West Virginia, that's the thing. You just have mason jars in your trailer park.
Everybody's grandma preserved things like peaches and peppers and shit in mason jars. They were ubiquitous.
Yeah.
I can go down to Big Lots right now and get a flat of them.
Yeah. Here's a question for you.
Yes.
Did you become friends with that kid later?
No. Honestly, if I would ever see him again, I would punch him in his mouth.
Oh man. So in my trailer park, there was a time when we took out the local bully, and immediately after had a trailer park meeting where all the parents got around. And we listened to, this is a story I'll tell later. This is it, but we listened to Skid Row Monkey Business in a circle while everybody smoked, except for my parents, and squashed our beef and went and saw Wayne's World the next day. But that's not the story I'm going to tell. The story I'm going to tell is a story that I have told before, but not in this medium. And I don't know if I've ever told you before about the time that I got the Hulk Hogan workout set.
Yes, you did. I photoshopped a meme of you. Remember?
Okay. I don't remember that. I'd like to see it.
You were laying in bed dreaming of Hulk Hogan?
That's every night. So
I'll find it.
For those listening, maybe you can post it on our wall. So my trailer park story is we had in our neighborhood a bully, Nicholas. And he was big. He was way bigger than me. I was probably like 9. He was probably 13. Nicholas had a karate gi and nunchucks made out of a broom handle that his horribly irresponsible parents let him make. And Nicholas...
I like Nicholas.
Nicholas was the exact bully you're thinking of. He was chubby. He was big and tall and oafish. He had a buzz cut and a pig nose, and he was a dick.
He was the older brother from Home Alone.
He's that just bully kid, and he was running around the neighborhood wreaking havoc all the time. And so we're all tired of it. But what are you going to do? The guy at this point in my life, I'm like, he knows fucking karate.
Did he know karate, or did he just have a gi?
Looking back on it, he didn't know shit. But at the time, I was like, well, they don't just give you those things if you don't know karate.
It's specific. It says it on the label on the inside.
Right. It's like they do not tear this.
Do not wear unless you know karate.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, this kid haunted my nightmares. Fucking Nicholas, right? Always haunted my nightmares.
Goddamn Nicholas.
And Christmas Eve came and we opened our presents, and lo and behold, under the tree, I got the Hulk Hogan workout set.
You were a real American.
And Hulk Hogan, by the way, was, to me, my favorite person in the world.
Ultimate warrior.
The strongest man in the world. The person I wish was my dad.
Oh my! What about your dad?
You know what? He's a great dad, but he's not the fucking Hulk.
He'll understand.
Right? Yeah. But although both bald and both have mustaches.
Does your dad have a skirted eggshell?
No, that's why he's not cool. So Hulk Hogan was... To me, Hulk Hogan was God. There were times when my friends and I would have discussions that would be like, who's the strongest man in the world? And there was no question. It was Hulk Hogan. So I got the Hulk Hogan workout set, which came with 2 little sand-filled blue weights, a jump rope, a fold-out poster of Hulk Hogan.
Naked.
And a chart that showed you workouts to do.
Didn't they come with a headband and wristbands too?
I think it did. Well, yeah, because I was wearing those during the time. I don't know if those were headband or wristbands.
Is that why you wear the red, white, and blue wristbands?
Yes. So
explains so much.
I get it. I work out for one night, and I decide I'm going to go take down Nicholas.
Wait, hold time out.
One and done.
You're going to beat up this kid on Christmas?
No.
You're gonna give this kid a can of whoop ass for Christmas?
Listen. So there's one day that you're guaranteed to know when everybody's outside, everybody's watching. Nicholas is going to be out playing with his new shit. It's Christmas, right? So Hulk Hogan workout set, get it. And the next day, and I'm not kidding you, man, I like lifted the weights and did like whatever I did at that age. And I knew that I was going to kick this kid's butt. I knew it. Like there's no doubt. I was going to beat this kid up. Like there was never a fear. It was just like, I'm going to beat this kid up.
I'm a real American.
Yeah, I'm a real American. So I got my stuff on. I got my wristbands, got my headband. I got my tank top, which I very vividly remember. I did not have a Hulk Hogan tank top, but I had a purple tank top. So I'm wearing my little jeans, my Hulk Hogan wristbands, and my purple tank top.
Did you?
No, I couldn't rip the shirt. So the next day I go out, and fat ass Nicholas is out there twisting his nunchucks, bullying kids, reign of terror all over the park. And I walked out behind Nicholas. His back was to me. And I've never been so confident in my life. Johnny, never in my life. I come up behind Nicholas. The kids are riding their bikes. Kids are playing with whatever they got for Christmas. And I went, hey, I screamed it. And he turned around and he was like, I came up in my mind as a kid. I came to his knee. He was huge. And he looked down at me and he was like, just staring at me like, and I immediately realized he's not intimidated. And I've called the wrong play. And I yell, hey, he looks down at me and he stares for a second. And then he goes, what are you supposed to be? And bafflingly, not until I grew up, got my master's degree and started working in psychotherapy did I realize what happened. At the time, I was just confused because in my mind, I said, your reign of terror is over, Nicholas. You're done bullying me. You're done bullying my friends. Take your fat, nunchuck, having fake non-earned karate gi self home. You're done. We're going to enjoy Christmas. What came out of my mouth, however, was the phrase, a bunny rabbit. Nicholas said, what are you supposed to be? And my brain went, oh God, what's the least threatening thing you can think of? And out of my mouth, surprising to me, came a bunny rabbit. And I was surprised. Nicholas was surprised. And we looked at each other and he went, bunny rabbit? And then he just turned his back on me and walked away because I'm pretty sure that Nicholas thought I was mentally challenged.
I was waiting for you to say, and I reared back.
No, I walked home in shame going, what happened? I had the whole thing planned.
I worked out for like 5 minutes.
Maybe he saw Monty Python Holy Grail and was like, I
He
want
thought
nothing to
better
do
of
with
it.
it. Run away.
Here's one thing I know, though. He never messed with me again because he thought I was mentally challenged.
He felt bad for you.
He did. And then there's a follow-up to the story.
Okay.
It is later on next year. Things cool down a little bit because he's not like bullying me anymore, and he gets invited to my birthday party.
Oh, I bet this wasn't awkward at all.
Which is a Halloween party, right? Even though my birthday's in November.
Yeah.
It had to be a Halloween party because that's how I rolled when I was a little kid. Nicholas came, surprise, surprise. He was a karate man. And I remember my mom telling him, Nicholas, I'm really glad that you've really changed your ways. We're glad you're here. And my mom said, I admire you. And as a child, I went, oh my God. I didn't really know what that meant, but I kind of went, I think my mom's in love with Nicholas. And then I had legitimate fear that Nicholas was going to be my new dad.
Oh, that sounds like an episode of Jerry Springer.
Yeah, man. So sometimes I wonder where he's at today, man. I wonder where Nicholas is today.
In your head, this is years later when we were standing at 123.
Yep.
When you thought you might punch Trevor Moment in the face,
yeah.
At any point did your brain say, I'm a buddy?
No, but I got a feeling that that would have happened, and there's a whole backstory with that one. I guess we'll leave for another time. But yeah, sometimes my brain goes. My brain makes me think I can do things I can't, like be a podcaster.
Well, this doesn't take any talent at all. Case in point, our podcast. But do you know who Trevor Moment is?
No.
American Werewolves lead singer, built like a brick shit house.
Literal has probably killed a man.
This one, talking to him before the gig, had to walk away because he thought he might punch Trevor Moment in the face.
What happened was we were chatting about the Ramones, and I was in the presence of the most alpha male of alpha males, Trevor Moment, strongest man in the world, great singer, great band, good friend.
And you were going to punch him in the face.
He's massive, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, probably killed a man. And what happened was my brain went, hey, what would happen if you punched Trevor Moment in the face? And
Nothing good.
Then my brain also went, that'd be a bad idea. Let's not do that. Why are you thinking that, brain? That's weird. And then my brain was like, what if you did, though? And I'm like, wait a minute, brain, I don't want to do that. And it's like, what if I made you? And I'm like, you can't make me, brain, but what if you could make me? And I started freaking out. I was like, holy shit, I'm going to punch Trevor Moment for no reason because my brain's telling me. I had to walk away. And what I realized is I was just in the presence of too much masculinity.
Testosterone.
I felt completely overwhelmed, and the animal instinct in me was like, you have to fight this guy. Although, based on what happened with Nicholas, I shouldn't fight anybody.
No, he would have killed you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad your brain works that way because mine's the exact same way. Because me, obviously, always being the shortest person everywhere I go, my first instinct is find the tallest person in the venue and beat them up.
You have to establish dominance
because it'd be hilarious. I'm just a 5 foot, little thing.
Yeah.
And how is he going to explain to his buddies how he got a black guy from a little girl?
No, that's true. No, that's true, man.
When this happened, though, Trevor was full gimmicked up, which means he had his battle vest on that had most of a wolf on it.
Yeah, had most of a wolf. Yeah.
And he had his face makeup on, and you still thought it was.
The question is
this the band where the guy had a fish on his?
No,
okay.
That's a whole other
different. Okay.
No, this is a good band. That's not a good band.
He thought he could punch that man in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No. Yeah.
I don't doubt your abilities, but no.
Oh no, I doubt my abilities.
I wouldn't even punch him.
You would have shattered like candy glass.
Yeah, no. And it's the weird thing was, again, we're bros, but when you're in the presence of that much, it's like what happens if Dredd walks in the room? You're like, oh my God, this dude is clearly in control.
Someone's catching a day stick in the teeth and foot in the nuts, and he's going to nuke something.
Yeah. Trevor is so dedicated to being a werewolf that his ears have been cut into a point.
Yes, I know.
He's a werewolf.
I know. I need to book an appointment. I want him to tattoo the bloodthirsty on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Highly recommend the American Werewolves if anybody out there listening cares.
Greatest band from Cleveland, Ohio ever. Fuck Joe Walsh.
Wow. Jesus. Also, I noticed in the chat, Subpar asked, why do you need so many jars to hand? Because Appalachia.
You just never know.
You need to, moonshine has to go somewhere.
People can a lot. They're canning, they're jarring. Is there a difference between canning and jarring?
Canning involves like preservatives and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Most of the time people just drink moonshine.
Yes. We, back in my drinking days, my old drummer Ben had a hookup, and not like the stuff you buy in the store. Yeah. Like Popcorn Sutton, I got a still out back. So before Ghost Road was Ghost Road, we would practice, and like Blake was in the band too. Yeah. And Ben would produce a mason jar full of clear liquid, and we would go, Yeah. So he'd pour our shots, and we'd all take a pull, and then we immediately put our hands in front of our faces to make sure we weren't going blind.
Right. Oh my God. Well, hey, guess what?
Oh, there's a Prog.
I think that's it, right? We don't have to talk about the all ages this week.
Hey, Jim did the colors on the cover.
All right. Well,
Jim,
since Jim's involved, I guess we'll go ahead and talk about this.
A good wienering to Jim.
No, hey, I've said it before. The all ages progs, sometimes they're pretty fucking good, man.
I mean, we get Department K in here, which I enjoyed.
Yeah. Period. Yeah. No.
There are good things I have to say.
Yeah. No,
I read the whole thing. I'm like some people.
Yeah, I know. Hey, and that's not me this time.
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
And Chelsea just showed up to take some of the heat off of you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I read the important one, so it's all good.
Yeah. Hey. Yes. It's a very nice looking cover. I like dinosaurs.
There's not a single goddamn dinosaur in this story, though.
I know. I got so excited.
I got a feeling that the cover just happens, and then they're like, whatever.
Well, how many Prog covers have we had of Joe just staring at the distance? Or God bless you, audience.
Speaking of the audience, that was your daughter who should have read this Prog with us.
I know, but she just started back to school. She's busy.
Oh my
and she
God.
hates me.
And if you're listening, Tharg, the people that we could get together this week to talk about the all ages prog, 3 old people. You're not that old, Chelsea, but we're old.
AARV over there.
Yeah. You're older than me. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how I'm dad, by the way. He calls me dad.
You have more problems than I do. The glass bones in my hip and
what is
my asshole fell out.
I walk in the door today and you tell me they did an EKG on me. It came out fine, but I'm sure it's not.
I remember. This is why I call you dad.
Okay.
If I'm going to your shows and buying your tickets and buying your merch, I'm your daddy. Out of your mouth.
God,
Dad.
God damn it.
You show going motherfucker.
All right. I said, I support you so much
That you're my dad.
that you should call me dad.
Which really confuses people when I call you out in the crowd. Hey, dad's
I
here.
know.
And they're like, that's not your dad.
God. Judge Dredd. Judge
Jerk-
Dad.
Jerk. Mr. Balls.
2 tribes.
Not only a Frankie Goes to Hollywood song, but also a prog.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't
that
realize
one didn't land. I'm sorry.
I did not realize that. Is that
Yeah.
a thing?
Yeah, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
James Peaty, Luke Horseman, and Parkhouse.
I really like the art in this. First off,
Yeah, this is a good balance between gritty Dredd and Cadet Dredd.
it's a spindly Dredd. And I thought of you.
Mhm, yeah.
Let's look at that shot.
That would be a nice print.
He's a Henry Flint spindly, like bones in a garbage bag Dredd, which I like.
Yeah, I like a good Cam Kennedy did a good spindly Dredd. Jake does a good spindly Dredd.
What was that one Dredd story? I think it was a Fatty story we read where it had the panel with Dredd, Joe holding the guy up against the wall, and he looked like Clint Eastwood's corpse.
Yeah.
Like he was. Who drew it? Was that Henry or was that Jake?
Man, I can't remember on that one. I do also remember there's a pretty hippie spindly Dredd who had a nice butt shot in one of these progs.
Yes, that's right.
What'd you guys think of this, Chelsea? What'd you think?
I liked it because like I know it's an all ages one, but it could be also later on turned into a regular.
Yeah,
If that makes any sense.
that's what makes the best all ages.
It
prog.
definitely felt like it could be in the prog, not just the all age.
Yeah.
The only difference is someone didn't get their head blown off. That's what makes
could
a
easily
good.
change it.
Yeah. That's
No
what
one
makes a
got
good all
nuked.
ages prog. Like it could be in the regular, but
And I
here
like
we
the
go.
color palette too.
There's a lot of great panels like this one of
Yeah.
Joe leading the cursed earth mutants to rescue their children.
My favorite thing about this one was Huge Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he had a handlebar mustache.
And the basic idea behind this is there's like a slaver named Huge Grant who finds a little cult of Cthulhu tentacle people out there who are the most mutated. Now we know there's muties out here in the Cursed Earth, but these guys are like deep ones, elder things.
Yes.
They must have been way out there
Like day
in the
zero.
Radlands.
Yeah, right. They're like right in the center of the radiation for sure. And Cadet Dredd teams up with them to go get their kids back from this Huge Grant slave trader.
Not before punching one of them in the face for touching him.
His commanding officer is somebody we've seen before too, by the way.
Yeah.
Is it Mick? What's the guy? Anyway, someone we've seen in other stories, which is cool because it gives us the opportunity to go like, oh, hey, here's how they're linked. Here's but I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me.
I think this might be one of the first Cadet Dredds we've read. No, I guess last one didn't have Rico in it either.
No.
At the zoo.
Wouldn't it be cool to have Cadet Rico and start showing sort of the split and like having like a villain Rico story? But I mean, could you do that in the all age? I guess
you couldn't. They'd have to be minor offenses.
Yeah.
If he's like beating a hooker, we can't put that in the all ages. But
yeah,
the more I read and the more we discuss, Rico's not the villain. I mean, he's bent, but he's not the villain. He realizes the hypocrisy of the system. He's taking advantage of it. The system is the villain.
Yeah. Yeah, the difference between Dredd and Rico, and it's just that Dredd's kind of a sucker. I mean, he
believes.
buys in.
Yeah.
He's me when I was 6 years old. My dad would tell me wrestling was fake, and I would cry.
He's me when I thought I could beat up Nicholas.
Oh.
The thing about this story that, and again, I'm not here to crap all over the all ages Prog. This is a great story. It's a fine story. But when I read something like this, Cadet Dredd, I always think, I wish it was in the regular Prog and we could see the horror of being a child cadet and having to kill a man.
Yeah.
Because that is a big part of Dredd's history.
But being in the all ages Prog, they're either knocked out off screen or they're just incapacitated, like Duke was in the G.I. Joe movie. He's in a coma.
Yeah, that was the worst. That was the absolute worst thing that ever happened. Yeah.
He's fine.
I cried when Cobra Commander turned into a snake, by the way.
That was such a weird.
He was my favorite.
You know why that movie got neutered, right?
No.
Because Transformers the movie the year before.
Oh, because they let some mad, drug-riddled, crazy person write, direct, score.
When they slaughter the entire cast, angry parents were inundating Hasbro. Like there was a kid that locked himself in his room and wouldn't come out. So they were.
I'm glad you finally came out.
Of many things. And they were going to put it in theaters, but they're like, well, this is going on TV. And somebody has to yell, he's in a coma off screen when Duke takes a snake to the heart.
And it still blows my mind that I feel like I'm the only person that watches that movie and goes, this is like a drug-induced nightmare.
Which one?
Transformers the movie.
Yeah, I don't get that.
It is a drug-induced bonkers David Cronenberg nightmare.
Nobody turns into a mutant snake person in Transformers the movie. You want to talk about bonkers? All of a sudden, Cobra Commanders from Cobra Law and the Penguin's voice is coming out of this guy with a giant slug butt.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That makes complete sense. And now Cobra Commander and Roadblock are having a buddy cop movie while Roadblock is blind.
Oh man, that's good. It's a good scene there, though.
The best thing that came out of that was Nemesis Enforcer.
Yeah, Nemesis Enforcer was super cool. That's also one of the greatest thrash metal bands that never existed.
Well,
name.
Start it. Let's
Nemesis Enforcer. Yeah. This was a good Cadet Dredd.
Yeah,
a nice little wrap up. I mean,
it might be my favorite of the Cadet Dredds we've got so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's pretty big thing.
Yeah.
It's the end of it where when they round everybody up, he freezes his senior officer, and senior officer asks Joe, "Do you think the Justice Department policy towards mutants is just?" And the last thing Joe says is, "It's the law, sir, until it changes."
Mm-hmm.
So we get that little glimpse of maybe he doesn't completely believe in the system, and we didn't see that in the Prog until Democracy Now!
Yeah.
That's where the cracks started forming.
Yeah, which is an interesting, again, it is the all ages Prog, which means it's for everybody, not just for kids. But the idea is like, that's kind of an interesting sentiment.
Yeah.
To leave with a young reader.
Mm-hmm.
How does somebody young perceive that, not knowing Dredd? Maybe this is their first Dredd. I guess us as adults read it in a completely different way.
Well, we're reading it with knowledge of Joe and who Joe is and the arc he's gone through.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was a fine installment. I never have really too much of an issue with the Cadet Dredds at all. They're usually one of the better things in the all ages Prog. Certainly this week it was. And I can't remember exactly which one, but it's been a couple Progs back. There was one Cadet Dredd where the artwork was a little bit more mature. The story was great.
Do you remember the subject matter of the story?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. These ones are hard for me, man, because they're just like a little jump in, and then I completely forget that it ever existed. But this was good, man. The next story,
rank.
What? Some sword and sorcery, goblet. What do they call dwarf tale?
Yes. You didn't like it, did you?
No.
Yeah, me neither. That's where I kind of quit reading halfway through. I'm like, okay.
It was okay. I didn't hate it. I like the art.
Yeah.
It's a silly little fantasy world, that they pulled a Future Shock where, the princess is a dick and her parents were kidnapped. They're just trying not to be killed by her.
Yeah.
I did like the art, but it was a bit of a slog to read, but
I was not primed to like this one though.
Well,
because I'm not a sorcerer.
And you're not a dwarf.
Guy. I'm not a dwarf.
You're like an inverted dwarf.
Yeah.
You're a reverse dwarf.
No beard and very tall. This is probably something that I feel like is appropriate for this sort of all ages Prog. And I know like there's a lot of Game of Thrones people out there. Yeah. So this fantasy setting is great. I just always kind of recoil a little bit when it comes to 2000 AD and fantasy stuff, man.
Unless it's Farrell and Foe.
Yeah, unless it's Farrell and Foe,
which is coming back soon.
And I was gonna say Slain, but man, that last Slain was so bad.
What was the one with Space David Bowie? We read this year.
Oh, Kingmaker.
Yeah.
See,
I would have liked that more had I not been so confused.
Yeah, I was gonna say for me, Kingmaker had as far as like the concept was cool because it's like it's fantasy and sci-fi mixed, and I thought that was pretty unique. But there was some weird, having the girl from Die Antwoord in there was kind of weird.
There was a lot of David Bowie analogs in the Prog at that time.
Yeah, they definitely, David Bowie's mark has been left on 2000 AD. Yeah, 100%. Thoughts on Rink though? Basically, I don't know if it's going to be a recurring thing, but for me, it was just like I did read the whole thing and I thought it was a fine story.
I'm proud of you.
Nice little twist. But
yeah,
I'm good on Rink.
Yeah, I don't. If it was like, hey, we're adding this to the Prog, I would probably go, put Defoe back in, please.
Yeah,
something else.
There's very few that show up in the all ages that almost like make the cut. It's almost like the minor leagues where they're like, hey, we got something here. Let's bring it over to the regular Prog. And
like Department K came from
Department K and Pandora Perfect is perfect for heading on over to the Prog. I don't know why it's not in there already. I don't see it as being.
It's been in there.
Has it been in there in the standard Prog? Okay.
Yeah. Don't you remember the Living Planet? They were reminding
Sausage Planet.
Yes.
Yeah, that was in the Prog.
Yeah, that was Prog.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it deserves to be in there, and but yeah, Rink. I don't know that. We need to get a kid on here, man. We need to get a kid.
Well, mine was busy.
Yeah.
Go make one and we'll a couple of years.
I can't. I have a white.
I can't since that gorilla.
I have a white windowless van. I can't just be asking kids, do they want to come read comic books?
No, sir. I will not help you find your puppy.
No. Future Shocks.
This is definitely a kid's Future Shock because there was no horrific dismembering at the end.
No, but he did sell the planet
for
food to aliens.
So all the violence is implied.
I did read that one.
Yeah.
I did read that one too.
Yeah, never trust a billionaire or quadrillionaire or whatever he was.
He's flying out to the brink. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is, man.
To face his own horror. He's gonna find that slop-titted monkey sloth in the ductwork.
I kind of liked this one.
Did you?
Because I felt like it had the same vibe as one of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes, one of everybody's favorite Twilight Zone episodes, To Serve Man.
Okay, yeah.
It's a cookbook.
Yeah.
Although
they keep swerving you on the definition.
Right. Yeah. I felt like this had the same vibe, and a
PG version of that.
A PG version with a grim ending that we don't get explicitly spelled out to us. But what I thought was really interesting is that we know that 2000 AD is absolutely the punk rock comic, and the most punk rock. Like, at the end of the day, kids, here's your lesson: never trust a rich person.
That's a lesson we can all take to heart.
Yeah. I mean, this is Jeff Bezos essentially. Right?
We have like how many billionaires right now?
Too many.
Not one of those dipshits has decided to put on a bat costume and fight crime.
Right.
I am thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah.
Although Jeff Bezos is turning into Lex Luthor.
Right. Yeah. I just don't know, like I know the whole thing is like, oh man, these people are building rockets and going to space. They could be giving this and that. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, if I were that rich, what would I do? I was like, I wouldn't have the drive and ingenuity to build a rocket. I'd probably just be surrounded by records and doing nothing philanthropic.
I would like to think that I would help out, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yeah. I'd have a shit ton more Transformers.
Right.
I'd have so many more comic books. Then we can get the Dredd movie that we really deserve.
You would finance the Dredd movie.
I would, absolutely.
I would let her do that because I would bankroll the Defoe movie.
I was going to say, you guys would be doing Dredd's work. I think you guys would be celebrating. Can you imagine? You could end world hunger, but you've just made a string of Dredd sequels.
Sure did.
$12 million.
That's what we really want.
They made $12 million and we spent $500 per movie.
To get the effects right, we actually built Mega City 1.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
We're getting there.
Detroit's pretty close anyway.
There you go. Yeah, man.
Never have we ever been so close in history to RoboCop becoming a real thing.
Yeah.
I can see OCP, like a corporation buying Detroit and trying to build Delta City.
Well, that would explain all these suspicious fires that are going on.
And then putting a drug addict's brain in a murder bot.
Are there random fires happening in Detroit?
Yeah. A lot of the older and historical houses are getting mysteriously burnt down.
Do we know what's going on with the villain from The Crow? Because I believe that was in Detroit, yes?
Yes.
He was burning stuff down. Fire it up.
Top dollar.
That's who you need to look for. Top dollar. I mean, I think he's old now.
Yes.
He just made a cameo in Nope.
Did he?
Not a cameo. He had a big role in
No
Nope.
shit.
And I spent the whole movie going,
That's top dollar.
I was like, who is this guy? But without the hair,
Yeah.
Oh.
I couldn't figure out who he was until the very end. And I was like, oh my God, I'm old.
The last movie I saw him in, real talk, was Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
Oh,
when
wow.
it came out in theaters
Wow, that's incredible.
back in the 90s.
Man.
So speaking of, since we're on the Crow right now, you know Faust, right? In the comic book.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim Vigil apparently tried to pitch to James O'Barr this year a Faust Crow crossover.
Oh my God.
He actually penciled pages.
Oh my God.
James O'Barr noped it because Tim Vigil can't pencil pages without there being gratuitous sex,
Yeah.
which I'm fine with. James O'Barr was not.
Yeah.
But he started posting the pencils and it was amazing. Like no one else can see this on the internet because
This is good radio. Folks.
this is for the premium subscribers for our Patreon.
This is Cursed Earth Radio reacts to a picture that Johnny shows us on his cell phone.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. Oh, there you go.
Yep.
You see, wish you could see it, don't
Yeah,
you?
it's amazing. And there's way too many boobs on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was going to do a full-on crossover, but you can't with Faust.
Can't do it.
Nope.
No.
It's like that movie. We made a Faust movie. No, you didn't.
No.
Is it an NC-17? No, you didn't make a Faust movie.
Man, and as Dredd fans, we think that we are in the world of the obscure, but Faust fans, that's an even smaller. You're not going to get a Faust action figure from Hiya Toys.
Dude, I know with the detachable bits and whatnot.
Oh, no.
I found Gateway Comics here in town used to have a Faust poster. It was the cover of issue 8, and it's burned into my brain. Never forget it. I found it on eBay, and I lost the auction. It topped out over $50. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'll never see it again.
My strategy on eBay, and if anybody is listening, this is a good strategy. You just wait till the last 3 seconds and then put in like $5,000. And
you'll win every time.
You're guaranteed to win.
$5,000.
Yeah. You may not be able to pay for it, but you'll win. And at least the other person will lose. Yeah.
My max bid topped out at like $48. And it blew past that because I always jump in at like the 10-second mark.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I went, oh, damn it.
Man.
So that's the most anybody's talked about Faust on a recording in forever.
There you go.
Making history yet again.
Yeah, that's what we do here. Department K,
Crisis
of Infinite
Esteban. Because I love me some Esteban.
I love Department K, and I love this story. Did you get to read this one, Chelsea?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I liked it when to differentiate their Esteban, Kirby drew a little mustache on. And that's perfect.
Man, there's a part of me that hopes they just keep that on there.
Dude, there were so many parallel Esteban, like this dipshit with the balloons.
Oh, dude, there's clearly a Judge Death, Dark Judge Esteban in this.
There's one made out of wood.
Yeah.
By far, my favorite was the muscular robotic Esteban that's doing a pose there. It's nonsense. I love it.
Someone created an Esteban just to be it's Esteban must pose. And the whole story was somehow somebody
Kirby accidentally
missed somebody.
Kirby.
Yeah. Accidentally, they were cleaning. She was supposed to be cleaning. Oh, wait till we're done testing this thing, and they opened a dimensional gate, and all the Estebans come through. It's just nonsense. It's no big plot twist or anything, but it's fun to see how they're trying to manage all these Estebans, and you get to meet all these cool ones, including the merged nightmare.
That was my favorite. And the one calls him Esteban 2, and he goes, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, Esteban 3, and I voted." And the middle one looks over and goes, "You chose to be Esteban 3?" He said, "Shit, I know my place."
Yeah. It's really that Esteban, at least one part of it, had such a, I don't know if this is intentional, probably not, had such a hardware vibe to it.
The Killbot.
It kind of reminded me of the Killbot from Hardware.
So is that 2080 stealing back 2080?
It might be. Yeah. Somewhere the justice has been done now. But I kind of miss Department K, man. I love it as a series, and I think it's to me it's like one of the top tier like new 2000 AD things. And I don't know how everybody else feels out there in the world.
Well, the last time we saw them, they were the space locusts. Remember the giant space locusts they were inside? So somehow that has to get resolved.
Yeah, and the thing with we don't know if this was a snapshot before or after or whatever. But it's what's cool about this too is it seems like we've got our normal like run of Department K stuff in the Prog, but then they'll give us a cool little deviation here because they know that these characters are pretty memorable
and they're likable. Yeah, it's one of those things that came from the all ages that definitely works in the Prog.
I love Jack Kirby. We all love Jack Kirby here, I think.
Yeah, that last story was complete Kirby worship.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because seeing that style is so unmistakable. If you're a robot and you have pirate boots, you're a Jack Kirby creation, regardless of who created you. It's Jack Kirby all the way. And I don't know. For some reason. I'm very, I still have this very nostalgic feeling that hits me. Even when I read Department K, it gives me, they're nailing the Kirby vibe. So
it's cool to see a British comic putting out some Kirby worship.
Yeah. And I will say, man, if you haven't, and I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't seen many of the Marvel films in this entire world, I'm going to take 2 weeks off and watch them all one day.
Don't do that.
But if you have not seen Eternals, is it Eternals or Immortals? Whatever. Eternals. It's nothing but Kirby worship, man. It is so.
There's a giant celestial in it, isn't it?
Yes, and everything about it is Kirby. The costumes are Kirby. It's just completely. It's perfect, and as far as that goes. Out of context, not knowing what's going on in the Marvel universe, it was awesome. So,
I watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness 2 weeks ago. I think I'm done with Marvel movies. I got to watch Moon Knight because that's the one thing I've been waiting for. Like, I can't wait till they get to the C tier characters and I get a Mark Spector Moon Knight. And it was good.
What happens when they bring in Sleepwalker? Remember that guy?
I'm waiting for Fool Killer.
I don't even remember. Oh, I do remember that.
The Sleepwalker, the Marvel analog of Spawn.
Yeah. He was awesome looking.
He was Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. They've jumped the shark at this point.
When we get to the Death's Head 2 movie, then I'll be excited.
That one will go big in the UK.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
No, it's just like when we have phase 5 and phase 6. I'm like, oh God, calm down.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, DC's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a Batman. And I want DC to always be the best because I got into comics for Batman.
Yeah.
And now Ezra Miller's screwing everything up. I'm not going to get to see Keaton in the cowl again.
Let's be honest, dude. They might as well be called WDCCW right now. It's the lesser product in everybody's hearts and mind, but we still love it more.
If they just cut Ezra Miller out of that film entirely and just show me Keaton in the Batsuit for 15 minutes, I'm good.
Man, Ezra Miller has gone off the fucking rails, man.
Just reshoot. Put the kid from the TV show in. I don't care.
That's also the thing, man. Forever people were like, that kid did a good job. And that's what I don't know what the politics are behind it, but here's the thing. That dude put in his time fighting a what's it called? CW Gorilla Grodd. Man, he deserves to be in the movie. And instead they got Ezra Miller, who's out there wreaking havoc
with a mustache
on the entire island of Hawaii. He threw a chair at someone.
Where was Dog the Bounty Hunter when all that was going on?
Oh yeah, man. He didn't do shit, man.
It's just show me Keaton in the cowl. Because I tell you what, no one was going to see that movie for the Flash.
Right.
Everybody was going,
for Keaton.
Keaton's going in the Batsuit again. Hell yes, sign me up. I don't give a shit about the Flash.
Yeah. And there's one way you can become the world's most hated man, or as in this case, the most hated person.
Be on this podcast.
Is be on this podcast or stop all the Batman nerds from getting to see Michael Keaton back in the cowl again, because that's what's going to happen unless they squash it. But I've heard rumblings that they've found some way to be like, sit down with Ezra Miller and be like, look, stop being weird. Just calm your stuff down. Let's release this movie.
And then go be weird again.
Yeah. And then you can go be weird again. You, Jared Leto, can go do whatever you want to do.
God. My buddy, who I used to work with, Brooks, he's now a school teacher. He teaches art here in town. And that was his go-to. When his kids would get rowdy, he'd just go, sit down, stop being weird.
Yeah. I know.
So if they could just bring Ezra Miller into the offices and just yell at them for a bit.
Yeah.
And they might cancel Doom Patrol, which really pisses me off.
Yeah, Doom Patrol's good, man. I like it. I feel like they did that one right. We already got a sentence for Ezra Miller. It's 20 on Titan, but wouldn't that mean he was a judge previously?
Yeah. Sits don't put him in the coop cube.
Yeah, quite honestly, that's kind of what.
Or send him to the recycle. One of the two.
No,
either one.
He needs a good coop cube. Maybe we can straighten this out.
And then if not, then send him to the recycle.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Is that they got Ben Affleck back as Batman for Aquaman?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Keaton.
How is that going to be?
Because they're running the multiverse thing.
Yeah, but if Batman, wait. I'm assuming, and I don't know. Last thing I saw with Michael Keaton was Birdman, right?
Yes.
I'm just assuming that if there's something that requires anything more than taking 3 steps, that Michael Keaton can't do it.
Well, neither can I. But from what I've read online, the grand plan was he was going to be like a mentor to the younger heroes, like the Titans.
Okay, that makes sense.
And maybe leaning towards a Batman Beyond, which would be cool if we could play the grizzled old Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But I like Affleck as Batman. I like his
too, man.
Actually, I went out because WB was, or whoever their parent company is now, HBO, is it WB? Warner, who'd they merge with?
I have no idea.
Whoever they merged with was canceling shit left and right.
Yeah.
And I said, if they take the Snyder cut off HBO Max, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought it on 4K just to have it.
Just in case, yeah.
I guess I could throw the other one away, huh? I'm never going to watch the Whedon cut.
I've had urges to go back and rewatch
so truncated and stupid.
I've had weird urges to go back and watch that because now that we all, I think, at least the two of us, Chelsea, I don't know how you felt about the Snyder cut. We loved it.
It was great.
I actually haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
As much as I wanted to, because I know a lot of the stuff they did with Ben Affleck, it was filmed in Detroit and Flint. But I don't like Ben Affleck, and I can't get past that.
Yeah,
because I still to this day I still see him as his character in Mallrats.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
As Batman, I
can't.
The sequence in Batman versus Superman where they pulled the Dark Knight Return sequence where he just beats the shit out of everybody.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, he killed like 8 of those dudes. There's no way he didn't kill 8 of those dudes.
Yeah.
And HMK got to see Darkseid. We were that close.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody looked great. Desaad looked great.
Yeah.
Granny Goodness was on a movie screen.
Granny Goodness on a movie screen, and she didn't look bad.
No.
It made sense.
Which means
I got it.
We probably would have got Big Barda.
Yeah, we would have.
And all the Furies.
Yeah,
so close. Orion could have come in as Scooty Puff Jr.
You were going to say that. Orion's awesome.
He's a dork.
Orion is amazing.
I'm Darkseid's son.
Get out of here.
I mean, Kirby's made some great stuff, but Orion is just a dork.
Orion's got a cool helmet.
Although,
what else do you need? Ask people who like Boba Fett.
Helmet,
you're good to go.
He did hang out with Wesley Willis in an issue. I shit you not. He did. Wesley Willis, they played him as one of the blind fates.
Did Wesley Willis headbutt him?
He did.
He did, yeah.
He said it wasn't named. He wasn't named Wesley, but he did all the mannerisms.
Yeah.
Rock over London, rock on Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he had like a bandana tied around his eyes with an eye drawn on it. It was something with Orion and Wesley, and they were going to go find Diana, Wonder Woman.
Bonkers.
It was fucking crazy. I want to see Wesley Willis on the movie screen. Bring him in.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Wesley Willis played by who?
He'd have to be CG. Just make him CG.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I've not had any problem with any of the except for Batman v Superman had its issues because there was a cave troll at the end.
Oh yeah, we're gonna truncate the Doomsday story into this repurposed turtle CGI.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine if they announced right now the Death of Superman movie trilogy? How excited!
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man.
And if Jesse Eisenberg was playing Lex Luthor instead of the Joker, that would have been great.
Yeah. So everyone was saying at the time, and it's true, they thought they should have gotten Heisenberg. They got Eisenberg. That's the problem.
And in the nightmare sequence in Snyder Cut, that Joker I was okay with.
Yeah,
even though it was Jared Leto.
Sure, yeah.
I liked that he had like all the police badges he had stolen from dead cops.
Yeah. It wasn't, I don't even think it's Jared Leto's not a good actor or whatever.
That movie just sucked.
He was like the Post Malone version of the Joker.
When that first Suicide Squad came out, I didn't watch it. Yeah. I saw the trailer and went, I could do a lot of other things in that with my time.
I saw it on accident.
The new one with James Gunn, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Just hearing John Cena say the worst possible things And then the Peacemaker series, which had no right to be as good as it was.
Surprised that got made because apparently Suicide Squad didn't do very well. And
it was released in the pandemic, so they probably got that. But my God, Peacemaker, talk about taking a dork character and making it A tier.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And they put Vigilante in. Yeah. I'm like the only person I know that read Vigilante.
Yeah.
And he was amazing.
It gives you hope that maybe we'll get an Animal Man someday, man.
Yeah, that could happen.
It's possible, yeah.
But they killed Swamp Thing after one season, which sucked.
Yeah. I was on a plane when I found that out. So it was at the lowest point of the low for me with DC Comics. Rebooting everything.
Also know something.
Just constant reboots. The movies were terrible. Swamp Thing was a glimmer of hope in the middle of all of that. It had the dude who played
Derek Mears,
who we all love in the genre. And I'm on the plane. I don't remember where I was going. I was excited. I was going to binge all the episodes. I bought the DC app, whatever.
Oh, yeah, before they were on HBO.
And I went to watch it. And I saw it canceled. And, I could still watch those. But I was like, you know what? I'm canceling it today because in my mind, I thought, if I cancel it now, the executives at DC will see it and go, why did this guy cancel today? Oh, because Swamp Thing was canceled. And that same day, I made the decision I was done reading DC Comics.
You can't reboot. I stick to the graphic novels.
Yeah.
It's easier that way. I don't have to trace continuity.
Yeah.
We're all just avoiding Explorers, aren't we?
Did you read Explorers, Chelsea?
I did not.
Did you read Explorers, Johnny?
I did. I like the art. I've always loved the art.
I don't love the art. I don't love any of it, man.
I don't care about
I'm bitter. I'm bitter. I don't love none.
It's got a tentacle monster. How could you not?
All right. The art's fine.
Okay.
I'm not picking on anybody, man. I never have liked this series.
It was never aimed at us.
It's never aimed at me. The art is not bad. The little tentacle guy is cute. I hated Survival Geeks with every fiber of my being.
I was here for that.
And I resent the fact that they canceled Survival Geeks and now they're shoehorning it back in.
But it's a new series.
I don't like
it's Ric Flair's last match.
I don't like the title Explorers. I don't like any of it.
I don't like these kids.
I feel bad for saying that. I don't like to shit on things here, but this is like the last
But here we go.
It's really not good for me, man.
Grab your ankles. We're shitting on everything.
No. I just don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah, like I skimmed it and I saw the tentacles. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I was like, maybe I'll go back and pay attention to it. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I read it and
it got me because I'm like, here's where I'm at. Put Survival Geeks just out of my mind. Out of my mind, just like the fact that the Big Bang Theory had a spinoff called Young Sheldon.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
That's out of my mind.
You got pissed off at postmortem.
Yeah, well, and I'm reading this and I'm like, Explorers. What is this? I'm looking, I'm like, what is this? A Fantastic Four-ish kind of thing? I'm reading. I'm like, okay. And then I go to page 2 and I see the tentacle guy and I was like, it's that guy from the fucking thing. And then I realize what's happening.
That guy from the fucking thing.
I realize what's happening.
It's an episode of the Magic School Bus. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not aimed at us.
No,
it's like being surprised the two 40-year-old podcast hosts don't like the current SoundCloud rapper.
You're right. Yeah, I know, man. And again, probably good creators here, probably people who've done stuff that we liked before. But
Francis Bacon.
Simon Bolin did letters. I like that.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm just hitting out at the art because I don't like the story.
Don't tune in here for coverage of Explorers.
No.
I will say this: the collected edition of Robusters has some awesome British sci-fi robot fuckery going on.
Yeah, like that, man. That's good looking stuff right there.
Yeah, that's a quality British sci-fi robot.
Yeah. British sci-fi robots are the best robots.
Well, I mean, the High Amin's got the tentacle grabby hands, not the murder arm.
I like that better. Yeah.
The one of the only good things about Stallone's Judge Dredd was the Mean Machine murder arm.
Yeah, it's great.
And Hammerstein, who is not Hammerstein, he's just a robot.
Yeah.
And Armand Asante looks exactly like Stallone.
He looks like Stallone that got left in the oven too long.
And he hit the top of the oven and he kind of got squished down.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Oh, speaking of which, so the Stallone Dredd soundtrack was on iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the band songs and then a couple of the Alan Silvestri. I bought it mostly for the Alan Silvestri stuff.
Yeah.
Never have I heard a compilation soundtrack be so unrelated to the movie it was part of.
Yeah.
Like the only song on that soundtrack that sounds remotely like anything Mega City 1 would sound like is the White Zombie song.
Yeah.
The Cure song, it's just awful. It's called Bullshit is what it's called.
I don't remember any of these in the movie. Was it just like they put out an accompanying soundtrack?
There was like when he blows up the guy's car, before
he is playing Rob Zombie or White Zombie.
Yeah, it's just, but the Cure, I like the Cure.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they, I know the British. Is that why they're on the Dredd soundtrack?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was just so, like, most people my age, the Crow soundtrack is Godhead. Like that soundtrack fits that movie absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, it's a good soundtrack. Demon Knight soundtrack is my soundtrack of choice.
To a lesser extent, the Batman Forever soundtrack.
Oh man,
fits that movie like a glove. Yeah. This isn't even in the same neighborhood as the movie. They just went like this and scooped a bunch of random songs into a disc and said, "Hey, Judge Dredd soundtrack."
Unrelated to comics, but one of the most ill-fated soundtrack moves in all of history was.
What's that?
I'm sure you're familiar with Silent Hill. Are you familiar with Silent Hill Downpour?
No.
Yes.
It was one of the later games, and for whatever reason, they decided what Silent Hill Downpour needs is a Korn theme song.
Yep.
Oh, I want up you there.
And there was so much backlash that they were like, "All right, we've added an option." And it was just at the title screen.
We've added an option to turn that the fuck off.
Yeah.
Nightmare Creatures 2.
Oh, I love Nightmare Creatures 2
with Rob Zombie.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
Nightmare Creatures, the original game, phenomenal.
Yeah,
love that game. Have you ever played it?
No.
Probably way cooler in my memory than it was.
It's got tank controls, but the atmosphere, the soundtrack, the arranged soundtrack, amazing. Yeah. You're in Victorian London hunting monsters.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I love it. That game soundtrack, amazing. Every Castlevania game always has a top flight soundtrack.
Yeah.
But yeah, Korn, not my survival horror soundtrack of choice.
No, man. But back to the Alan Silvestri stuff. He did a great job.
Yeah, the orchestral score for Judge Dredd matches perfectly.
My band does our intro for the Jasons is the Alan Silvestri track called ABC Warrior.
That makes sense.
It's like 37 seconds. It's just enough to get up there on stage, dim the lights, let everybody know the villains are here, and then you play. It's perfect. There for a while, they took it off of YouTube, and we couldn't use it. We did not have.
Let me see if it's included. It's not on this soundtrack.
No, because it was like it's on the original score as a bonus track.
Oh.
And there for the longest time, the only way to get it was Amazon, $130. And luckily, I just waited.
Dumb enough to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Judge Dredd theme from the Stallone Dredd.
Yeah.
The big orchestral swells in that, like it feels epic.
Yeah.
And then the movie just shits its pants around it.
Yeah.
Had he kept the helmet on, that's like literally half the fuckery.
That's the sole reason why I haven't seen it yet, because I know that's gonna bug me so bad. I'm just gonna be
you've never watched the Stallone Dredd?
I've only seen
the
Carl or
suffered from
I know, and you guys were telling me about it, and it's like, oh, should I just get it done and over with? I know it's like kind of a rite of passage, but at the same time, it's like I know how I am, and all the inaccuracies are just gonna drive me nuts, and I'm gonna go on this huge rant about it.
Rob Schneider is Fergie, who is a 7-foot-tall, mentally challenged mutant from the Undercity.
Yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
It is definitely a product of the time when comic book movies were just done so poorly. And, it was like this idea that comic fans were lesser, basement dwelling creatures.
I mean, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong.
But now we rule the box office.
And that's the thing. We like to get angry at people who there's like that stigma of like, oh, everybody's a nerd now. But that's why we have good comic book movies. Because
enough of the nerds grew up and got positions, high-ranking positions in movie companies. They still fucked up the X-Men though. Jesus, Murphy, those movies are terrible.
I think they're about to fix them. I think they're going to.
They're supposed to be bringing them back in, but what kind of Disney X-Men are we going to get? I guess they're keeping Deadpool R because you can't make that PG-13.
Yeah.
I guess he'll exist on the fringes, and I think I saw John Bernthal said that they're going to reactivate the Punisher.
Yeah.
But they don't need to do that right now.
Yeah, man. I think they do.
Knuckleheads have ruined that for me.
No, I don't think we can let the Knuckleheads rule. We can't let the Knuckleheads stop the Punisher from being a thing. That'd be a shame. It'd be like Slayer stopping their band because every Slayer stereotype fan is a complete terrible person.
Or Tool.
Or Tool, yeah. Yeah, man, that's letting the terrorists win, isn't it?
I don't know. Unless they get Dolph Lundgren back to play the Punisher.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Dude, I was dusting last night because that's what I do to relax because I'm weird.
Yeah.
I was dusting the DVD rack and I have all 3 Punisher movies. Yeah. Dolph, Thomas Jane, and who's it in Warzone?
Ray Svensson.
Yeah.
Stevenson. Ray
Yes.
Stevenson.
I loved Warzone.
I did too. Yeah.
That's a fucking great movie.
It was definitely an exploitation movie. Yeah.
And it was so like the first sequence where he breaks into the mob dinner and just fucking lights that flare and runs up and hacks the guy's head off. I'm like,
yeah.
I took my buddy Ryan. We went to see it. When the parkour gang jumps off the roof and Castle blasts him with a rocket launcher. There were 4 of us in the theater. Ryan stands up pointing at the screen, just belly laughing. I thought it was funny, but I was like, okay.
No, it was great because there was a time at that period of time,
it was okay to blow up parkour people.
Well, everybody thought parkour was awesome and it was terrible and cringeworthy. And I feel like that was the director being like, I'm tired of this. This is stupid.
Looking back at the Thomas Jane one, I liked it at the time, but I can't take that anymore. It's John Travolta as the bad guy is hammy enough.
You know what? I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember coming home from it being like, that was amazing. That's what I thought.
When he drags him by the car into the junkyard where he has strategically lit cars on fire to make the Punisher skull, I just went, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'll take Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, man. I think Nicolas Cage deserves a return as Ghost Rider, but that's just me.
Yeah. There's another property they need to unfuck.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I'm happy they're home only because I hopefully get a good Doctor Doom now.
Yeah.
Instead of dude in 80s workout clothes wearing dish gloves and mom's good blanket as his cape. We're going to make it darker. Don't do that.
I've watched that movie.
Fan Four Stick.
I've watched Fan Four Stick more times than any band on the planet because I'll tell you why. I just need to know what happened.
Yeah, that's one of those. That's like the Island of Dr. Moreau.
I'm
honestly just shit the bed train wreck.
It needs a documentary like that because I'm really, I would use the word like obsessed with that movie. I can't stop. I've listened to every single bit of news on the internet, every commentary. I've read everything with Josh Trank. It doesn't explain it enough. I want the David Cronenberg body horror movie that Josh Trank pitched, and I want to know between that and Kate Mira wearing a wig.
I was going to ask, how bad is the wig in the reshoot scenes?
You know what, man? People single it out. It's not that the wig looks bad; it's that it looks different.
Is it as bad as Cavill's CG lip for the reshoots of Joss Whedon's Justice League?
And you know what? I didn't even catch that. Didn't even catch me either.
He's going like this.
No one can see it.
I can. You can see my face. It just looks so unnatural. Like, he can do the reshoots, but he can't shoot the mustache. You can't make a fake mustache. Hollywood doesn't have it in the budget to make the fake mustache.
It all goes back to Jurassic Park, man. My wife and I were watching the new Game of Thrones thing, whatever, Lord of
Sex with a Dragon or something.
And she was like, this is not bad. And I was like, everything looks cheap. The dragons look cheap. The effects look cheap. And she's like, I don't think so. I was like, compared to Jurassic Park. And she was like, oh yeah. And I'm like, how is this possible?
Which Jurassic Park? There's
the original Jurassic Park.
I saw it in the theater in 93 and I haven't seen it since.
You know what?
Are you laughing at me because I'm old?
No, I was just, as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh my God, I was born the year that came out.
He got the senior discount.
Hey, I'm going to go lay down on the road. You guys want to sign off for me?
Yeah.
But question though, with the new Game of Thrones thing, did they have a Starbucks cup this time?
You know what? I didn't pay enough attention to know. There should be one hidden in there somewhere. Yeah. No, it was everything looks cheap because Jurassic Park did it perfectly. All those years ago, they figured out the mix between CG and practical effects.
And it should always lean heavy on the practical.
Everything looks wet. Everything looks wet or plastic. I don't know, man. They just haven't figured it out.
We're talking like the Scorpion King CG from Mummy Returns bad?
Oh, God.
Not that bad.
Or Spawn.
I went back and rewatched that over Christmas. That is a train wreck. You rendered this on a PS2? I did. I watched Prey last night. The new Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Predator was a practical effect. His suit was real. Like, I like the story. Did you know there's a complete Comanche dub of that?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was awesome. So we have 3 good Predator movies and a bunch of shitty ones.
Predators.
4. Yeah, 4.
Predators is
The Predator. Jesus Murphy.
Yeah.
I had hope for that because Shane Black wrote it.
No,
and then I watched him with this fucking terrible.
Predators, that's the second most recent one, right?
Adrian
With Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
Trejo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Robert Rodriguez produced.
I was a huge fan of that one, man.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
You know, they have a game preserve where they can hunt.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that threw me off on Prey, they couldn't decide how much tech they wanted it to have and not have.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have the shoulder cannon.
Yeah.
But he had magical floaty bombs, and he had the shield and the wrist blades, and he could detonate his wrist gauntlet.
Yeah.
But not the shoulder cannon.
Yeah, the shoulder cannon was there.
But it wasn't lasers. It was bolts.
Oh.
It was like a bolt gun.
Yeah.
So there was this weird, like, but they're an advanced alien species. Wouldn't they already have this tech?
300 years earlier, though, maybe it was
they were still leagues ahead of us. I mean, they had to have been.
Not according to Prey, they weren't.
But overall, I really liked the movie.
Yeah.
I will defend Predator 2 till I'm dead. It was a great movie.
Yeah, it was fine.
And if you watch all those movies, she was the first one to kill a predator because all the other ones committed suicide.
Yeah.
The one the Dutch fought killed itself. The one that Danny Glover fought killed itself.
Yeah.
The one I'm thinking Predators was killed by another predator.
Yeah.
Chelsea's laughing at the chat. What am I missing?
Being late for CER, 4 years in the cubes. We're late.
We're running late. We're just jaw jacking and this is verbal diarrhea now.
Yeah, it is, man. Man, we've covered everything.
We have Predator. We covered Trailer Park Stories. We begrudgingly covered Explorers.
Yeah.
We talked about Judge Dredd some.
A little bit.
We talked about everything. So my child is dying. I guess that's it. Chelsea, you want to take us out?
Winner.
I can't turn it up.